if I were Barcelona and I was thinking of it, I guess that's the sort of amount, that's the sort of sum I would think I would want to pay, and not much more.
Uh,
I think people know that Rashford has got a bit of, in recent times, the last year or two, he's got a checkered situation, a checkered history, really, where
mm,
he hasn't always been singularly devoted to his job as a footballer, which has
yeah.
affected his game. And I think I've certainly said before, and I think you may have done,
Mm,
I felt he was quite fortunate to be included in Thomas Tuchel's England squads, not because he's not up to that quality. I think he used to be, and maybe still will be. He
mm,
can be a very good player on his day, but I think he lets other things distract him. Now, I don't know his contract position at Manchester United. I mean, if he's only got a year or so to go on there, then if his contract runs out, they won't get anything for him. So it might be that Barcelona are saying, well, look, in January, we'll pay you that money
mm,
effectively. Otherwise, if you wait till next summer, if his contract goes then, if that runs out, then they won't. He can just go there for nothing. So that could be why we're talking of 25 or 30 million euros, which seems
mm,
a low amount. So all in all, I think Manchester United will probably be quite pleased to get 30 million euros for someone who they know is not likely to play for them anymore. I don't think they would want him to because of
mm.
the relationship that now exists there. So yeah, I can understand why that sum might be about enough to tempt Manchester United to sell him. Yeah,
Mm. All right, good, good. Right, okay, so let's go back to the match now. Liverpool is lost. Is it 3 games or 4 games now, back to back?
I think they've lost three.
Yeah,
In the league, I think they've lost three Premier League games, and they lost the other one, didn't they?
yeah,
In the cup, the
yeah,
Champions League, wasn't it?
yeah. So they've lost 4 consecutive games,
Yeah, I
and I
believe so. Yeah, yeah, they have.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I understand this last one. They lost it at home. They were beaten at home, weren't they? It was
yeah, they
announced.
did. They lost at home.
Uh,
Yeah,
Now what are we thinking about Anna Slot? I know it's too early, but what are we thinking about him now?
yeah. You say too early. I mean, he's been
Yeah,
there well over a year, so it probably isn't too early. But in
no,
a
okay.
way, I know what you mean. We didn't really get a proper chance, or did we, to assess him as football fans last season because he just seemed to take over with no bump in the road from Klopp
Yeah.
and marched straight to the title, pretty much with Klopp's team. So
Mm,
there are those who might say, well, now they're not doing quite so well. Maybe the fact that Klopp's team was mainly together last season, and of course we include Trent Alexander-Arnold, he was still there, and other players too, Diaz and so on,
yeah.
then a team can often function, carry on functioning itself. But of course, now that some of those players are gone, they've brought in players under Slot's regime. And yeah, again, we come back to the fact that they won their first 5 league games. But I
Mhm.
think it's true to say that a couple of those league games, they were a little bit fortunate to score right at the end. I think in the Burnley game, it would have been a draw, but for the fact that an unfortunate handball on the part of a Burnley player robbed them of 3 points.
Mhm.
But I think that the signs were there, that the chinks in the armour were there in those first few games as we look back on them now.
Mm,
And of course, Palace broke that run for them by beating them at Palace a few weeks ago, and that
mm.
seemed to, set the problems in motion that they now seem to have. What do we think of Slot? Well, I think you're right. In a sense, it's too. I think you're right. In a sense, it's too early to judge because it's like he's only just gone there, having inherited a good team who were pretty much up there anyway, in the top two, three, four. and they came good, and they developed along the way last season the momentum you need, which sometimes wins you games you don't deserve to win. You know, they say winning teams who win the league, they find a way to win. And
Mm,
that's what can happen. And I think that's momentum, that's confidence that is basically underpinning the performance of the team. But
mm.
now that it's a different team, they've got different players, most of whom I believe are pretty good from what I've seen of them. I don't think they played particularly badly on Sunday. You know, a bit heartbreaking for them to sort of equalise near the end, only to then submit to, to give away another goal like they did.
Mm.
But yeah, with Slot, I don't know. Quite an interesting aside on that. I don't know whether you are aware of the rule, but there is a rule which says um, managers and coaches are not allowed to touch the ball. Did you know that?
No.
Apparently, it came in 2022, so it's been there for 3 years now. Now,
Oh,
I didn't know that because you often see, and it's happened on Sunday, Slot caught the ball 2 or 3 times and
mm,
then threw it to his player and so on. And I've seen Oliver Glasner do that.
mm.
And and they were not penalised to my knowledge.
Oh, oh.
But apparently, last season, Aston Villa fell foul of this. But let me just say that the rest of that rule is that ball boys, ball girls are not allowed to give the ball or throw the ball to the player. Did you know that?
No.
Well, what they have to do, as you probably know, the ball boys and girls have to put the ball on the little, I can't think what they're called, but it's the holder, the ball holder,
Mhm.
situated around the pitch. So you will get one halfway between the halfway line and the goal line, and then so on all the way around the pitch. So when the ball goes out for a throw in, the player more often than not will just walk or run to the ball which is sitting there on the little stand, and he'll do that. And in the meantime, the ball that's gone off, it either is thrown back onto the pitch by a fan or it bounces back. So then the ref has to blow the whistle because there's 2 balls on the pitch. But
Mm.
they're perfecting that. Basically, the person throwing the ball will make sure that the other ball doesn't go on the pitch. But yeah, the ball boys and ball girls are not allowed to give the ball to any player. The player has to
Right.
get it themselves. And then the ball boy, ball girl, they put it back on that little ball stand. And apparently, in one way or another, whether it's to do with the manager or the ball boys, etc., last season Aston Villa fell foul of this.